I'm gonna get started on my salad, which is a super simple salad. It's just some apples, fennel, orange, mint, and butter lettuce. So it's really refreshing and really plays off that really bright, almost citrusy aspect of apples. So to start, I'm gonna break down my oranges by slicing them into supremes, which sounds kind of fancy, but basically I'm just doing little slices in between the membrane so you don't have to chew through anything when you have your oranges in your salad. The great thing here is it's really easy to eat. You don't have to use your fork to poke through anything, and you can just go ahead and bite right into it. And now, using what I have left over, I'm just gonna squeeze it and try to get a couple of tablespoons or so out of all of these oranges. It's a great way to use up the entire orange. And this is gonna give my vinaigrette a really lovely orangey flavor. So now I'm gonna just make my vinaigrette, and it's so easy. I don't think you will ever wanna buy one again after you see how simple it is to put together. The basic idea with a vinaigrette is the rule of 1 to 3. So you have 1 tablespoon of vinegar, acid, anything like that, and then 3 tablespoons of a fat. So for me today, I have balsamic vinegar and olive oil, and for a little bit of flavoring, orange juice. It doesn't have a lot of acid in there, so it's just mostly for flavor. So I'm going to add my balsamic. I'm just gonna eyeball it, because I can always adjust it. It's about a tablespoon, and then about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. There we go. And then a nice big pinch of salt for seasoning, a little bit of pepper. And the reason why I'm doing this in a jar is because instead of having to whisk and wait for everything to emulsify together, which means it all becomes one cohesive liquid, is I just shake it. And you can use any other container you have at home, just a little plastic one is totally fine. I had a jar handy, so I'm using a jar. So I'm gonna give it a taste with a little bit of this lettuce. And that's another thing, whatever you're putting the dressing on, use that for your tasting instead of a spoon, because that will tell you if the balance is right. All right, that tastes just about right. And it should be a little bit zippy. You shouldn't really get, whoa, vinegar or too much olive oil. It should all be in a nice balance, so I think this is good. So next, I'm going to slice my fennel. And you just want a really thin slice because it has a lot of flavor. It's really strong, and you want it as thin as you can get, just so you get a tiny hint of it. So next, I'm going to slice my apples, and I like slicing them horizontally because you get a really beautiful star pattern in the middle. And you want to slice these kind of as thinly as you slice the fennel. You can go a little bit thicker if you really like the flavor of apples. So you can see the really pretty pattern in here, and just to get the seeds out, you just poke them like that, and they'll come right out. And if you're trying to make this ahead of time, just put the apple slices into a lemon and water solution. That'll keep them really nice and crisp, and they won't turn brown. So I sliced up my apples and fennel, and I'm gonna get started on putting my salad together. So I'm gonna start with my base, and this is kind of a looser salad. I like it because you can use your fork and knife with it. You can kind of put together what you want in the salad. So I'm keeping it a little bit loose on the plate. I have these beautiful butter lettuce leaves. And if you want to use romaine or iceberg or anything like that, that's fine, but I love the flavor of butter lettuce and it just looks beautiful. So I'm gonna put those on the bottom, and I love the flavor of mint. It's not just a garnish, it has a really beautiful flavor all of its own. So I have some mint leaves here. I'm just gonna grab them and start tearing them up. And this is something you don't wanna do ahead of time because mint wilts and blackens really easily. So do this right before you're gonna serve the dish. And a little bit of mint goes a long way, so you don't have to do very much. Now I'm going to build my salad. I'm gonna add the fennel on bottom first. And then I'm going to top off with some really beautiful apple. And next, I'm going to add my segments of orange. It adds a really beautiful pop of color. Now, I'm just gonna put a drizzle of the vinaigrette over the whole thing because I don't want to discolor any of it. It's so pretty. I just want to put a little light drizzle on. Just a sprig of mint right on top. And there you have it, a really simple, fresh, and fun way to use apples.